Hello, we're back for another LOC report, and my counterpart's slightly out of the picture here, so we'll just put it in there. Hello, yeah, back for another LOC report. Camera's down here if you want to know where to look. We've got a good show for you today. We've got the schedule reveal and the division evaluation show. Obviously, our divisions were aligned a few weeks ago. Actually, it was more than that. It was nearly a month ago, 3 weeks ago.
3 weeks.
The division aligning event and the possible game. So apologies for the gap in the podcast. I have been very, very busy with work and such, and so is Chris. But hey, we're back today, and I have another guest today instead of the usual stalwart. Ollie Burdett, head coach of Burdettinators and Corona Bowl 5 champion?
5 or 6.
I think it was 5.
Yeah, 2013.
Yeah. How you doing?
I'm not bad. I'm not bad at all.
Good. So, as I said, good show for you today. We'll do a quick roundup of the news. So, emphasis on the quick, and then we'll get into the meat and bones of the show. So, league news, as usual, constant reminder, the draft is on the 2nd of September?
Is that right?
That whatever the first, 2nd of September, first Saturday. It's going to be a morning one again. It's going to be an early one, but hey, that means you get the rest of the weekend to yourself. So look, keep that date free as always. It's going to be a good day. You're actually going to be in attendance for the first time since
2 or 3 years. 2 years. This is 3 years.
Yeah. So we'll have a bit of a bigger draft room, hopefully.
Yeah.
Other news, so flag football, as always, the season's wrapped up now, but as always, just let me know if you'd like to come and play. We have a Jag 7 tournament coming up, so that'll be good fun. In terms of fantasy news for the league, that's about it at the moment. We're in that quiet period of the off-season, so we won't delay any further. We will get straight into the show, and first off, should we start with the division evaluation?
Yeah,
because I think it's good to do it that way before we go into the schedule. So we'll start with the bottom one. So Winchester division was set by the people that were not in attendance at the division aligning event, and also Ben, because he was the one obviously chairing the division aligning event. So we have, and I should say at this point as well, please comment if you have any comments or anything like that, and we'll get you involved in the show. I will try and remember how to bring up comments. Yeah, but I don't think we've had any yet, so it's not working. Anyway, so Winchester division, the people who won that, and Ben. So we've got Nige, ADRZ, Tom's Tyrants, Tom, Iknan, or Iksan, as he's now known, Iksan, and Thank You McTankface, Phil. So that's a pretty powerhouse division, because we have Phil, because we have the most recent champion in Ben. We have the champion before that, Nige. Both of whom have made the Corona Bowl 2 years ago. And the champion before that, who also won it, not the year before that, but the season before, the last season before that. So 4 Corona Bowls in this league. 4 out of the 8 Corona Bowls in this division.
And recent ones as well.
Recent ones, and Phil.
Well, you know that... No, you don't know. He's going to Gronk you each week. That's all Phil's going to do. He's going to take Gronk number 12 overall.
Now, that was the case when it was a 10-team league.
Yeah.
Since we've been a 12-team league, we have not seen the same Phil merit. Largely because there is such a dearth of talent in comparison to when there was a 10-team league. You can't wing it anymore as much, really.
No.
Can a bit, but
everyone's a bit more switched on waivers.
That as well. Me and Pat had the same conversation that, back in the Phil's heyday, not to slam you, Phil, you are one of the winningest coaches in the LC, but only about half the league, I'd say, was playing seriously at that time, maybe a little bit more. Now, I don't think there's a guy in the league who's not taking it. Pretty serious.
Phil was a master of picking up a nobody on waivers, and 3 weeks later they turn into a starter. And credit to him for that, but now, with 12 people taking it seriously, they're just gone off waivers.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see this year, with the new budget system.
Yeah,
people won't just willy-nilly, take him for the sake of taking him, then drop him, then take... I did that last year, just because I could. I think everyone did.
You'll get people doing it on free agency, but with the waivers, it's going to be that's going to be a race to the free agency after the waivers.
Phil could see a rise back up here if he played his card rights, which makes that division possibly one of the worst ones to be in recent years.
Yeah, so, I mean, what do we make
I
of
certainly
that?
wouldn't want to be in that division.
ADRZ, Tom's Torrance, Ignan, taking the Tampa. It's going to be, I mean, I think it's got to be the one you'd expect a wildcard team to come from. Because,
immediately looking at it, just...
Yeah.
You'd expect them all to have similar records.
Yeah.
Based on just their experience, you can't see anyone pulling away in terms of... I think they've all probably got similar win-loss record percentage.
We kind of had a similar thing last year. If you remember, there was a division with me, I think my dad, I can't remember the other two.
So Ross is a newcomer though, so it's sort of...
Ross was in... Yeah. No, it might not have been my division, but there was definitely a division where we were like, oh, they're all pretty good.
Me, Pat, Ben and Tom last year.
Yeah, all pretty good. And we were like...
Two teams made it out again.
You're going to get it one of two ways. You're going to get... It's going to be really tough and some people struggle and some do well. Or you're going to get what happened in that division in actual fact, where the teams just kind of... none of them could take the lead because they were all kind of in the similar... And they kind of hurt themselves because of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no doubt it's a good division and it's looking like a strong... The Portsmouth division was made up of the bottom team in the divisional lining event, the team that had the highest amount of time to do all the stuff, and the second bottom. So that is Pat, me, so Palestine, Gridiron Gang, Ben Estes and Cash for Gold. This is quite an interesting division because it's quite a blend of the old, the relatively new, and then the brand new. You've got two former champions who haven't had the same success as they had. First two champions, and then ever since, I've not appeared in the playoffs since 2011.
They toy around with it though. Like you never like facing them because they I think every time I play one of them, it goes down to like 10 points.
Yeah.
Even if it's a bad game, they'll have a bad game, you'll have a bad game.
Yeah, it's always a close one.
So it's like, they're never like bottom. They're just never quite reaching playoffs.
And me and my dad, I think it's fair to say, are two of the best waiver scouring teams in the league. We always manage to field decent
good teams. Yeah. It's just injury, especially Dave over the last 4 or 5 years.
Year it feels like.
He seems to lose half his team by week. And it's sort of a tradition now. So you don't want to play in the first half of the season. The second half, it's a win.
And to be fair, that's almost been a product of the waiver system where last year my dad, I believe, did go 0-4.
Yeah.
Picked up a load of good players in that time, and it sprung him forward, didn't quite make it.
He did the opposite to what I did. I went like 5-1 and then couldn't get it.
Oh, it happened to me as well.
Yeah,
I went,
both.
And even though I was scoring 100 points every week, anyway. So
I just left people on the bench.
This could be interesting then, because it's going to test two of the best wavering teams in the league to date, really.
Yeah.
In a new system, can they have the same success against these two new guys as well? Let's talk about Palestine quickly, because Palestine...
He's a wild card in this one, in the sense that he, based on what he did last year, he knows his stuff. He doesn't mess around. He's putting... Last week speaking to Pat, me and Pat have already done a few mock drafts. We're taking it that seriously this year. And... He knows the waiver stuff. But again, it's brand new waiver stuff this year, so we don't know who's going to be...
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Good at it. Because Pat was saying last year he felt hampered by the waivers because he was constantly ranked the top. His players got injured in week 12, 13. Yeah. Not much he can do there.
Yeah, no. He really had a third year leap as well, because he's going into his... fourth season, or was it second?
His third full season.
First
year he was...
So first year in the league, he was effectively an offensive coordinator on the team, getting his feet wet. That team didn't do great, but it had some promise. First full year in charge when he was head coach of Pakistan. Not a great year, still a long year, but last year, really good year, really one of the best teams in the league for a long time. Just faded in the playoffs like a lot of good teams do, we see.
Is he the new Phil?
Is he the new Phil?
I'm sure Pat will love that comparison. He could be the new Phil of the league.
And then finally we've got the new blood. Only joined the league last year, Ollie Gold, and fair to say he won I think the Overachiever Award.
Yeah.
Coming into a 12-team league where 11 guys playing seriously, have had plenty of years under the belt, came in. He had a really nice year. He he competed in a lot of games, got a good amount of wins, avoided the toilet bowl. So he had a good year. So it'll be interesting to see what sophomore jump he has. So it's a really interesting division, I think.
If he develops like Pat did, like all he knows is like speaking to him at train like flag football trainers. Like, he knows his stuff now. And towards the end of last season, he was picking up the right players.
Yeah.
Like, if they don't do well, you can't help them.
Yeah.
If he plays well, that could turn into another division in the sense that everyone sort of there's two very proven players there.
Yeah.
Pat's on the rise, and if Ollie's on the rise as well,
it's going to be
anyone's division.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, you can't pick a
definitely
clear cut.
And our final division here, we've got the Southampton division, formed of the runners-up in the division lining event and the winners of the division lining event. So we have Ross, the Brady Bunch, currently, Viv with the Dream Team, Ollie, you with your Burdettinators team, and Chris with the Forge Flyers. Now this is another interesting one, but for different reasons. So we've got Chris, who, to be fair, he had a good year last year, faded a bit down the stretch, but in comparison to his previous seasons, had a very, very good season. And you've got the Dream Team, who feels like they're a playoff team year in, year out for the last 4 years or so.
I think they've got to be favourites for this division at this point.
Yeah, but they've never won the big one. They have a pretty good regular season, I'd say. It's not ultimately always convincing, but it's pretty good. And you like you say, you bet on them to win.
They're never the highest scoring team, but
no.
They win the games they have to.
Mm-hmm.
They always put up a good score each week, and that's the reason they get to the playoffs. It's just they're not consistently the top scoring team, which hurts in the playoffs. Yeah,
and then you've got your team, who it's almost like the opposite of that. You can score 50 or 150 at a whim. Consistency's never been the name of your game. I think it's fair to say.
I think in terms of decisions I made last year, I don't think I could have a worse season for decision making. I left 350 points on the bench, which was 100 more than anyone else. And like, even if I tried to leave points on the bench more than that, I don't think I'd be able to.
No, yeah.
I was sitting down with you and Pat on Xbox, me and Pat were talking about it. I talked through, okay, I'm going to play these guys this week. You guys agree that's a logical thing? Both say yeah. They both score 40 points on the bench. My starters get pulled after one play in the game. I'm sitting there like,
no, you're not wrong. So, but always a team that can threaten for the playoffs. I think
I can only go up from last year.
Yeah,
that's absolutely. My logic.
Yeah, and then
you'll see me just
And then finally, we have Ross, the Brady Bunch, who this is his third year back now from retirement. I don't think he's quite shown that X factor, so to speak, to kind of take the next level and make the playoffs as yet. But I think, to be fair, first year back, it's always going to be a learning year. The league had changed a lot from the first time. Second year, I think there was definitely market improvement. So third year, depending on what kind of prep he's done and what he's going to do throughout the season, we could again see another really improved team in the LC.
The thing with Ross in his draft, he just goes for like best player available, and it works.
It does work.
If they don't get injured, which I think he's been quite lucky with injuries like last season.
I think Carlos Hyde was his main problem last season.
Then you're fine with that because.
But he had GHI as well, like you say. Taking the BP, it can work.
So it's a case of like.
And he's got patience. He barely made a waiver wire last year. Only when he really had to.
It's not a case of you look at him and you're like, okay, that's 2 wins a season. That's definitely not the case. I lost to him last season.
Yeah, I lost him as well. I think.
Well, a lot of people did.
I think he finished 6 and 8 in the end around there, so you can get the wins.
I'm not really a big fan of this division. I think I lost to everyone in it last year. That was last season.
Yeah. And that's the division. So I think we're both in line. And Winchester's definitely the best of the bunch here, but each division really, I don't think you see a soft division. I don't think you see a division where there's 2 teams that are just going to get walked. It kind of helps that last year was such a close year in the LFC. Everything is kind of leveled at the moment, and it'll be really interesting to see what happens. But now with that, we go from the divisions themselves to the all-important schedule. Now, if you are keen and keep your eyes peeled, you would have seen that I posted the schedule on the NFL site a week or 2 ago, but we didn't do proper service to it because we were meant to have a podcast, but I was too busy. So we're going to do that now. Rearrange the podcast schedule a bit so we get this in. And so what me and Chris usually do is we go through it, look at the weeks, spot the matchups, pick a best matchup, obviously flag the Wembley games and stuff, and then we'll see what it looks like. So, week 1, opening week of the LOC season, 10th of September, we have Ben Necessities playing the Brady Bunch, Tom's Tyrants playing the Dream Team, Tanky McTankface playing Burdettinators, Gridiron Gang playing Forge Flies, ADLZ playing Cash for Gold, and Iksan playing Pakistan. Now, off the bat, we already have some great matchups there. I'm just going to give you the quick hitters, and then you can give me your analysis. So, we have Thomas Tyrants against the Dream Team, which is a pretty high-powered matchup. We have Tanky McTankface against Burdettinators, which is the special Brew Bowl from last year. And the reason Phil's team name is now Tanky McTankface. We have Gridiron Gang against Forge Flies, which is the podcast bowl. Yeah. The podcast bowl in week 1. Then we have Iksan against Pat, which was a playoff game last year, in which Ben won. So some good matchups there. What do you make of them?
There's a mix of like Iksan v Pakistan to me stands out as a current winner against someone who came very close last year. And did Pat have the best regular season record last year?
I believe it was the regular season.
Yeah, so you've got the regular season champ versus the playoff champ. So that's straight off.
The winner of the league.
That's straight off a big game there. Yeah. Tom's Tyrants v Viv, or Tom's Tyrants v Dream Team. Two teams which... Tom's team normally starts off quite slow in recent seasons.
And they've definitely
picks it up at the end of the season.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think that one's got potential, like they both know what they're doing. UV Chris is always an interesting one because he gets to talk about it on the podcast.
Yeah, I usually beat him, but he got one on me last year, so it'll be interesting.
And me and Phil is always interesting.
Fireworks.
It's good. It was Phil's chance to get revenge after I've made him rename his team.
Absolutely.
So.
And Phil, you never know. He might, a couple of years of a down year, he might come out with a bit of an edge this time.
Well, you know that Phil's quarterback is going to put up 60 points in week 1, and he'll get some random receiver score 3 touchdowns out of nowhere.
Absolutely.
So I'm accepting that fate already.
What do you have for the game of the week here?
I'd say Iksan v Pakistan there. I think that's going to set a tone early on.
High profile teams from last year.
Are they going to be big scorers? Are they going to have a down year? You know, let's get some reading from the first thing.
Absolutely.
You'd expect it to be a close one.
Okay, so week 2 we have Tanky McTankface against the Brady Bunch, Gridiron against the Dream Team, Ben Necessities against Burdettinators, Tom's Tyrants against Forge Flyers, Iksan against Cash for Gold, and ADRZ against Pakistan. Now, nothing jumps out at me too much here. The only one that I would really highlight is Ben Necessities for your team Burdettinators, because that is, of course, Corona Bowl 1, with the oldest
Me and Dave always have good matchups as well. We've always got... Early on in the season, until injury struck, we've normally both got very competitive rosters.
Yeah.
I'm kind of annoyed that I'm playing him week 2, if I'm being honest. So, fingers crossed that his players get injured week 1. But I think that could, again, set the tone early on. You don't want to be losing. There's no division.
This isn't a division week,
no.
is it? No,
so there's nothing which stands out. Again, depending on what Pakistan v ADLZ is another...
Could be a good one. I mean, two of the best teams last season.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So it's, again, setting the tone early on. Right, let's get those wins under the belt.
Yeah. Game of the week, though, Ben Necessities, Burdettinators, I think.
Yeah, I'd say set the tone early for that. It's going to be...
So a good week 1 followed by an week 2.
So
they're not all going to be...
It's not the best week of fixtures if we're being
They're not all going to be, in a way. They can't all be things. Yeah. Week 3, though, we have Forge Flies against the Brady Bunch, Burdettinators against the Dream Team, Pakistan against Gridiron Gang, Ben Necessities against Cash for Gold, Tanky McTankface against ARZ, and Iksan against Tom's Tyrants. Now, before we press on, I believe week 3 is indeed a Wembley week, which myself, you, Dave, Tom, and Phil are going to. So let's just have a look. Are we having any Wembley Bowl matchups? So not with you, not with Pat, not with So amazingly, even though 5 of us are going to, not one of us is involved in a Wembley goal game. Bit of a shame, but hey. I'd say again, nothing really jumps out at me there. Just kind of another staple week of the season.
I think
anything
it's a divisional week, so I mean, obviously there's some key matchups in terms.
First divisional week of the season, so that is a pretty key time.
Yeah, so I think all the games in their own right will have. I just know Pakistan's schedule here is not easy. He has been welcomed in year 3 with 3 horrible opening matches.
He's got Iksan, ADRZ, and then Gridiron Gang in his first 3 weeks. So tough opening games.
But if he goes 3-0 through that, you'd put him.
Oh yeah, you'd send him straight to the corner.
Yeah, nothing against jumping out to me then. I think.
Any games of the week? They're all pretty good, I think, in their own way.
Yeah. I think struggle to pick one, but time will change depending on. Which teams are doing well?
So again, week 4, I think, is another Wembley game where we have myself, Dave, Tom, Viv and Ross going. And the games are the Dream Team against the Brady Bunch, so we have a Wembley Bowl, Viv v Ross. Forge Flyers against Burdettinators. Cash for Gold against Gridiron Gang. Pakistan against Bare Necessities. Tom's Torrance against ADRZ. And Tanky McTankface against Iksan. So it's the one Wembley Bowl here. So that jumps out straight away. And Tom's Torrance against ADRZ as well, I think is a pretty good matchup. What do you make of the week?
I'd say, you got the Wembley Bowl. I think it's Ross's first Wembley game. He's in a Wembley Bowl.
Yes, that is absolutely correct. What a day for Ross. What a day in the history of the Brady Bunch.
Yeah, that's going to be a big day for him. That one sort of stands out to me. I think that's probably the only one jumping off the page to me right there.
Yeah.
I think everything else is going to be good games, but nothing.
It's game of the week right there. Yeah. So next, week 5, then we have Iksan playing the Brady Bunch. Cash for Gold facing off against the Dream Team. Pakistan against Burdettinators. ADRZ against Forge Flyers. Tom's Tyrants against Gridiron Gang. And Tanky McTankface against Bare Necessities. Now, this does have a good few matchups, I think. So, I think the first thing I highlighted was Pakistan against Burdettinators. That's going to be a fun one, I think. Some fireworks there. Tom's Tyrants against Gridiron Gang. So, that was Corona Bowl 3.
Yeah. They've
been in the league since the start, two very competitive teams usually. And then finally, I think Tanky McTankface with Bennis is actually a good one as well because they're both 2 of the winningest franchises in the LOC. So it's always kind of interesting when these guys face off, I think.
Yeah.
What do you make of the week?
I think me v Pat is... I think I've just been on coming off a bad season and Pat's come off a good season, so you'd sort of expect him to take that based on form. So I wouldn't say that. UV Tom's an interesting one. You've got 2 people who've had their ups and downs.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So you know that's going to be a good one. And close rivalry as well. Obviously you're, apart from possibly Ollie now, closer with Tom in the league, you've known him the longest.
Yeah.
So that's always quite an old little rivalry. And then as you said, Phil v anyone can be a good game because you don't know what Phil's going to put up each week. You don't know if he's going to put up 20 points or 200. And again, him v Dave. By that point, okay, challenging each other for the most winning team, you never know.
Yeah, and I think my dad actually overtook Phil.
Towards the end.
I'll have to check, but maybe while you're talking about the next week, I'll have a check, but I'm pretty sure my dad has overtaken him. So, game of the week, who you got?
I'll go for UV Tom then.
Yeah, that'd be great. Week 6 then, and I don't know, that's not the next Wembley week, but week 6, what does that hold in store? We've got Burdettinators against the Brady Bunch, Forge Flyers against the Dream Team, Bare Necessities against Gridiron Gang, so Father-Son Bowl in week 6, Pakistan v Cash for Gold, Iksan against ADRZ, and Tanky McTankface against Tom's Tyrants. So we have definitely a few good matchups here.
Yeah.
So we have, as I said, the Father and Son Bowl, Pakistan v Cash for Gold, 2 of the newest teams in the league face off. Iksan against ADRZ, the rematch of the last year's Corona Bowl 8 and Corona Bowl 7. And Tanky McTankface against Tom's Tyrants as well. Tom's also one of the winningest teams in the league, so they're 2 good games as well. What do you make of this week?
Obviously you got Father-Son Bowl.
Yeah.
Always a good game. always some rivalry in there.
Absolutely.
And it can go either way. I don't know what the record is, but I imagine it's pretty close between you.
I think my dad's got the edge, but it's not a world away. Yeah.
I mean, ADR's EV Ixan is one which really stands out to me because regardless of what everyone says, Ixan did nearly retire at ADRZ last year. He almost JHI to like he did Arian Foster. If you get that reference. It's always good to see a rematch of the Corona Bowl.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Like, regardless of what week it is, you know, Nigel's going to want revenge on him.
Yeah, definitely.
Ben's going to want to prove he won it because...
I mean, they're one apiece now, so it's still going to be interesting.
Yeah.
And apologies for the light. We are in a mid-refitted kitchen, so not much we can do. Right, so... here we got it. So my dad has overtaken Phil, as they did switch a bit at times last season, but my dad's got 66 wins at the moment. Phil is on 65, with Tom just behind his 64, and you're a bit further, 4 wins behind that.
So in my own little gap there. No one's really...
Yeah, so, but back to the schedule, game of the week, what you got?
I would actually go for... Normally I'd go for the Stubbs Bowl, but...
Father-son Bowl.
I'm going to go with the Corona Bowl rematch.
Yeah.
I love a good rematch.
That's guaranteed to...
I wouldn't say like you and Dave also haven't made the playoffs last week. So in terms of the bit of rivalry, but it won't, given previous form, necessarily transform.
Exactly, yeah.
Those two you'd expect them to... They got to the final 2 years in a row, those two. You'd expect them to make another push this year.
Yeah, totally.
So that could have big playoff implications early on in the season.
Absolutely.
It's going to be a good game.
Absolutely. So week 7 then, which is another Wembley week, we have myself, Dave, Tom, Pat and Ben going to that game. So let's see if we have any Wembley Bowl matchups. So first off we have ADRZ against the Brady Bunch, Ixan against the Dream Team, Gridiron Gang against Burdettinators, what if in a Wembley Bowl? Bare Necessities against Forge Flyers, Tanky with Tankfist against Cash for Gold, and we do have one right at the end, Tom's Tyrants against Pakistan. Looking down, Ixan v the Dream Team could be a good game. Gridiron Gang versus Burdettinators is usually a good one. And then I think Tom's Tyrants against Pakistan, obviously the Wembley Bowl, and 2 very good teams historically as well. What do you make of this week?
And obviously me v you is always one of the longest rivalries in the league.
Yep, absolutely.
Then there's some good matchups down the board there, but I think the one which does stand out because it's the Wembley Bowl would be Tom v Pat.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's it.
Just sitting in the stadium, because is that the later kickoff one where the other games are going on?
Potentially.
There's nothing better.
This is the one in Twickenham.
There's nothing better than sitting there and you see red zone alert come up on the big screen, and you don't normally care about what the Jags are doing on the pitch. So everyone watches the screen. And your player just scores like an 80-yard touchdown, and you're just like, you just turn to them and you just don't say anything.
Well, you turn to them and do this.
Yeah. The rules are you have to play, if possible, you have to play someone who's playing in the game in front of you. Yeah. Which can be a nightmare. Like when you pick the kicker and you're like, kick it, and he misses a 30-yard field goal.
Always fun.
Like Nugent.
But oh god, I agree that excuse me, that's the best game out. Yeah. So week 8, the final Wembley Bowl week. Going to that game we have myself, Dave, Tom, Pat and Ollie. So that should be a good crowd. In the games we have Forge Flyers against the Brady Bunch, Burdettinators against the Dream Team, Pakistan against Gridiron Gang, there's a Wembley Bowl, Bare Necessities against Cash for Gold, Tanky McTankface against ADRZ, and Ixan against Tom's Tyrants. Interesting games here, so I'm going to pull out Forge Flyers and the Brady Bunch because I think that's 2 have been middling teams the last few years. Could be an interesting one. But then is the Dream Team. I think that's got some chutzpah to it. Gridiron Gang against Pakistan. That obviously the Wembley Bowl. I think Tanking with Tankface against ADRZ is a good one because if you remember rightly, the last time these guys faced... when these guys faced off at the end of the 2015 season, was it? That was a lot of talk between them. That was claimed by Phil, I'm going to win out and make the playoffs. And they jawed it out on the Facebook chat, and at the end of it, Phil looked like an idiot because I think he lost every game thereafter. Yeah. And then Nigel won the league. So I think that there's a bit of a rivalry there. And then finally, Ixan against Tom's Tyrants. I think it's a really good game too. What do you make of the week?
UV Pat is also a Wembley Bowl. You sort of got the OG member in you, been in it since the start. Pat's a newcomer who's picked it up very quickly.
Yep.
Going to be a good game. Then yeah, Phil v Nige. Nige is one of the more quiet people, but if you enter a trash talking match with Nige, then he will respond. And Phil learnt that. And
we're in, where are we? We're in week 8 here, which is pretty, it's time when you see you're either going to put up or shut up, or you need to rally down.
Yeah, by then, we will know. By then, Phil could have won the league outright. He would have either made playoffs at this point, or he'll be ready for another special group goal. So it depends which Phil turns up this year. I've got a feeling this is Phil's comeback year.
I mean, you got to think he's gonna take a look at himself and be like, I've got to do something differently.
Yeah.
And but best week of the season so far. I think it's a pretty good week. Who you got for game of the week? So many good choices.
I think UV Pat, just the Wembley Bowl takes it. I'm sure I'm gonna have fun there at the Wembley Bowl, just watching you and Pat go at it. Which teams are playing that week? So
Vikings, Browns.
Okay, there's not gonna be any players actually playing, unless
potentially
anyone wants to pick up any Browns QBs.
I'm starting Deshaun Kaiser that week, just saying.
Odds on. You heard it here first. He's starting him.
Week 9, we have Cash for Goal against the Brady Bunch. Palestine against the Dream Team. Excuse me. Thomas Torrance against Burdettinators. Tanky McTank facing against Watch Flyers. ADOZ against Gridiron Yang. And Exam against Bare Necessities. Now, after a really, really top week, Palestine Dream Team jumps out at me as a good one.
Yeah.
Thomas Torrance Burdettinators, I think, has good potential as well. Other than that, maybe ADOZ Gridiron Yang a little bit, not so much.
Pat's featuring a lot of Game of the Weeks there.
Yeah, that's what happens when you have a successful season.
So
keep it up, Paddy.
I'd say Pat v Viv will be the big one here, given both playoff teams last year.
Yep. Both lost in the first round last year.
Yeah. And they out of the two of those who've known each other the longest in terms of they were friends years and years before most of us met Viv. So they've got a history between them. They're both competitive. Pat is the kind of quiet trash talker. Trash talk Pat. So yeah, I think that's going to be a good one.
Yeah.
I think that stands out to me.
I agree. I think that's the best of the week.
I'm rooting for Pat, obviously. Dream Team.
Oh yeah.
So,
and again, with the double digits here, week 10 now, week 10. So in week 10, we have another interdivision game. So we have Tom's Tyrants against the Brady Bunch. Tanky McTank face against the Dream Team. Cash for Gold against Burdettinators. Palestine against Forge Flyers. Ixan against Gridiron Gang. And ADRZ against Bare Necessities. Now, I don't think there's a lot cooking there, but I do always like ADRZ against Bare Necessities. What do you make of this week?
There's a bit of spice in that one.
Yeah.
I think that's the one which really stands out as it's got any significance in terms of rivalry between the two. Obviously, Nigel's giving it a little bit large when he's on a winning streak, and fair play. So yeah, I'm sure they'll still go at it for a few days before and after.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's what everyone wants.
Moving now to the fourth to last games of the season, week 11. The Dream Team take on the Brady Bunch. Forge Flies takes on Burdettinators. Cash for Gold takes on Gridiron Gang. So this is another division week. Palestine against Bare Necessities. Tom's Tyrants against ADLZ. Tanky McTank face against Exan. Nothing really jumps out to me in this one.
No.
It's going to be a pretty crucial week, near the end of the season.
Just all in their own right. Just because it's one of the later divisional games, that it's anyone's game.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I agree. Nothing really stands out. So we'll mosey on to week 12, where we have Burdettinators against the Brady Bunch. Forge Fires take on the Dream Team. Bare Necessities against Gridiron Gang, the second Father Son Bowl of the season, being division teams. Palestine against Cash for Gold. Ixan against ADRZ. Another rematch of the Corona Bowl. And Tanky McTank face against Tom's Tyrants. Another good game there.
Corona Bowl rematch in the same week that it's the Stubbs Bowl.
Outstanding. It's another good week. I think week 8 and week 12 are our best weeks of the season so far. And in week 12, obviously third to last game of the season.
Yeah.
It's gonna be feisty.
Yeah, I'd say at this point, the Stubbs Bowl would take. We've already had one Corona Bowl rematch. You don't need more than one.
We've already had one Stubbs Bowl.
But that wouldn't win Game of the Week.
It didn't.
So you're getting greedy if you think that's going to win.
Yeah, the second rematch is never quite as impactful.
Yeah, but the Stubbs Bowl is always
because
there's more to it. They've got to live together.
Yeah, exactly.
So you get bragging rights for the whole week.
Well, until you play them again.
Oh yeah. Unless you're both like 3-11.
Then no one cares.
There's no winner.
Week 13, penultimate week of the season. We have Gridiron Gang taking on the Brady Bunch, Bare Necessities against the Dream Team, ADRZ against Burdettinators, Ixan against Forge Flyers, Tom's Tyrants against Cash for Gold, and Tanky McTankface against Pakistan. Now there is no other great game this week other than Ixan against Forge Flyers.
Yeah.
No, there's two. I'm lying. There's two. That one and Tanky McTankface v Pakistan.
There, Tom v Ollie as well.
We've got three of, I would say, the biggest rivalry games in the LOC today.
Yeah.
Facing off. Phil against Pat, Tom against Ollie, Gardner, and Ben against Chris.
For me, this just down to how much trash talk there will be. It has to be Pat v Phil for me this game. No other game will even come close. Like, yeah, Tom and Ollie may have a bit of banter between them, but they're far maturer than Phil.
And you know what's interesting about this rivalry is I don't think it's ever been particularly competitive. I think whenever they've played each other has been when either Phil's had a decent season and Pat's had a shocker, or when Phil's had a shocker and Pat's had a great season. They've never actually played each other on equal footing. I can't wait for the day when they do and there's all this chat going on, because then it'll actually, it won't be just like one guy is mouthing off and has no chance of winning. So, but that could be this year. Could certainly be this year. Yeah. And then, as we said, Tom v Ollie, I think that's a good one too.
It's a newcomer v the person who brought him in.
Yeah, exactly.
You always want to be the person who brought you into the league, just for the sake of
oh, yeah.
Oh, look.
Absolutely.
You thought you were the expert.
And then we've got Ixan against Forge Flyers, which I think is the friendly rivalry of the league. It's a rivalry game, but it's a friendly one. So that's always a good one too. So 3 really, really good weeks in the back half of the season here. So it's going to be a good closing to the season. And finally, week 14, last week of the regular season, we've got Pakistan playing the Brady Bunch, ADRZ playing the Dream Team, Ixan are playing Burdettinators, Cash for Gold playing Forge Flyers, Tanky McTankface against Gridiron Gang, and then Tom's Tyrants against Bare Necessities. I can highlight another few really good games here. We know this is going to be important for playoffs. It's interdivisional, so there's so much going on with wildcards and everything. ADLZ against the Dream Team. Those two have been in the playoffs so often the last few years. Yeah. I think they faced each other in the playoffs last year, and ADLZ knocked Viv out. We've got Tanky McTankface against me against Phil has always been interesting. Phil's usually got the edge, but it's always an interesting game. And then Tom's Tyrants against Bare Necessities as well, I would highlight as another big one. What do you make of the week?
Yeah, I think also there's huge implications in it. You struggle to pick a standout matchup given how close the league's was last year. Yeah. Almost all of those games will matter one way or another. Absolutely. In the sense of playoffs. So not even just who's going to go into what bowl, who can get to the playoffs. I can see a year coming up where halfway through the season, you still won't be able to guess who's going to make the playoffs.
That's been the case ever since we've been a 12-team league the last 2 years.
I think it's just everyone's...
There's been maybe one that you're like, he's going to make it, but then behind that...
And the skill gap now is too narrow to be like, okay, even if he is 5-1 halfway through the season, that is no guarantee he's getting to the playoffs. That just means that he's had a good start to the season. Yeah, absolutely. Doesn't mean anything else. No. So, that week is just crucial for so many reasons. Yeah. And,
So that was the schedule reveal and division evaluation show. Hope you enjoyed it. We will endeavour to be back next week, and then I'm planning to do the week after, so aren't you lucky? 3 shows hopefully in a row. Next week we'll probably do the 2016 review show. We're jumping forwards and backwards here, but hey, who cares? It's all good content. So we'll take a look at last year, team by team, not the draft. We'll leave the draft to around the middle of August. The episode after. So the episode after that, But we've got a good billing for you. You fancy joining again next week?
I probably will.
Cool.
We should do a best players of the 2017 season, which nobody will have a clue whether that means they were good last year or good next year. So that'll be a useless.
Or we could do a top 100 players where it's not defined whether it's about the last season that's gone or all time.
Top 100 players, no sport defined, just top 100 players. And then that'll probably be more accurate than the NFL's top 100 players.
I would say so.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks for joining us. Hope you enjoyed the show. Hope the draft prep is going well. It is only just over a month. It's about a month and 2 weeks now, I believe.
Yeah, 6 weeks.
So.
7 weeks tomorrow.
So not long. So hope the prep's going well. Hope you enjoyed the show. We'll see you again next week. Goodbye.